Okay, so before we get around to the actual topic, I do want to say that my Q&A is still open. I will be closing it by the end of February, so if you have any more questions to me specifically, um, it's better to ask now or as soon as possible before it's too late. Anyways, on to the video. Hello everybody, this is Chibi of YouTube. I hope y'all are doing well, in this, trying times. Lately, I've been doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes when it comes to my creative projects. Some I have been public about, like the Mage of Silence, that's very obvious. But there are projects that I have been debating of being public about, and there's some that are just like a little bit of the in-between period, but that's besides the point. Needless to say, my hands are rather full at points. I think it all started because I needed to be slow with my Valentine's special for the Mage of Silence because, a lot of people who are doing the Valentine's challenge are kind of struggling a bit, including the host. So really, during my breaks, I ended up making another project because I couldn't really help myself. However, I am kind of debating, or actually, what I should say is that I'm not 100% sure if I would share this particular project to the public, because it's kind of a personal one. I know for some folks they do have a thing for day one criticism, and to be perfectly blunt, I am a sensitive asshole, and I'm saying this for myself specifically. However, I do want to do the thing of sharing some of these projects to folks that I'm at least familiarizing myself with, because I am kind of desperate for some level of attention. Listen, I gotta be somewhat honest with myself, you know? But yeah, I do want to give out these projects via the following. A Mediafire link for, downloading. B, a link to an unlisted YouTube video. C, a Google Doc of my written works. An itch.io link with a password system so only people with the password could access the game. Yes, that is a thing. I tested out with one of my older games myself. And I do have some options of how I want to go about with these exclusive projects. Number 1, email. So I could do the thing of asking some peeps for their emails, that way I could send the aforementioned links via email. Regardless if they are part of a pre-existing friend group or not, they would all have access to these exclusive projects via email. And for some friend groups, I could just pick and choose who gets which project. But for everyone else, they get the good stuff, hehe. The only flaw with this idea is that I know some folks are rightfully reprehensive of giving out emails, and they would only give it out for those they trust, and to an extent I empathize with that sentiment, which is why I have this next idea. Number 2, actually utilizing some features for my own goddamn forum. I'm sure a lot of you, even those that have been following me for a long time, probably don't know this, but I have my own forum. There are no new members for it though. Which is fair. I did not do a good job advertising that or the Phantom Realm forum for that matter. But it is something that I want to utilize for folks who are fans of my works but do not want to join a Discord server. More on that later. Now, why a forum, you may ask? That seems to be the most public thing I could ever do. And you'd be correct. If it weren't for the fact that ProBoards has features that would help me utilize, having groups of people viewing specific boards. And not other boards, to be fair. And also, an admin for a forum could have the ability to create such groups as well. So, as of me writing this, I've made 4 groups. 2 for one category, and while the rest has, one category for the specific group. Now, I personally think it fits the bill for my desire of posting online while simultaneously, appealing to my desire to only post shit for certain groups. However, I know one issue with that is that not many folks would join a forum these days. That is likely due to the overconvenience of posting on social media. While I do want to keep pushing for the propaganda of going back to forums, I know that not everyone is going to listen to me on that front. On that note, let's go for the more convenient option. Number 3, creating a private Discord server for those that are not in specific friend groups. Not gonna lie, this is probably the most tempting option given of how convenient it is. But at the same time, I am kind of the most hesitant on this option. But that is likely because of the fact that, A, my last Discord server ended on a webber, and B, I know some people find joining a Discord server to be very daunting. And the reason why I say a server for those that are not in specific friend groups is because there are already Discord servers for those friend groups, so inviting anyone from there would be kinda redundant. Like, if I have a project, regardless if it's public or private, I could just send the link of those in the promo channels of those servers, while also having it be in the project announcement channel of the hypothetical Discord. In the case of private projects that are connected to a specific check, the hypothetical Discord would still have the link to it, but only 1 or 2 chats would probably have the link to it. Maybe 3, depending on the circumstances. Out of all of these, like I said, this is like the most convenient, as almost anyone would at least have a Discord account. But I know not many folks, especially those with busy lives, would probably want to join. But yeah, those are all the options that I have when it comes to, like, you know, sharing some of my future projects to specific folks, but not to the full-on public. Honestly, one of the reasons for these ideas is because of the fact that, like, with one of the stories I'm working on, the story of Hio Hio, has that part of a story that, not gonna lie, it was so intense that even I started to feel emotional. And given how this is kind of a personal story to me, I am worried about, like, people outside of my friend group saying that it's too intense or not intense enough. Say, like, if I were to go with option 3, I think this will be the point where I share the story to, like, the friend group chats and, like, the hypothetical Discord. And if in case you're wondering, this idea of community exclusive projects is not exactly 100% my idea. El Bassinard had plans of doing something similar, but for folks who have subscribed to her Patreon, which people who are paying for the highest tier have access to her exclusive projects that wouldn't be publicly posted anywhere online. And that is mainly due to the fact that some of those stories are in this weird sort of limbo area where, you know, she is not as attached to them enough to turn them into a long-term project, but is too attached to them to discard them altogether. And not gonna lie, that's how I feel about some of my stories. Now, I know one may say, Jesse, why not start a Patreon? And I get the logic behind this question. I really do. Like, not only it is an easy way for people to gain some access to exclusive projects, but I also get money out of it, so it sounds like it'd be a good idea. However, there are a couple of things that is preventing me from fully committing to that. Number 1, I don't think, like, a lot of my projects are up to quality to justify paying for it. I know it is subjective at the end of the day, but that's just how I personally feel. 2, I am hesitant on asking for money again. Like, last time I did that, it was in hopes of getting out of a situation, but spoiler alert! My mom was easily manipulated, and we were practically stuck with the bitch hoe that is her boyfriend. So yeah, due to that mess, it sadly led to those donations being in vain. Due to that, it did lead me to feel hesitant for asking for donations moving forward. If I were to ask for money, it had to be via commissions, because at the very least, I am giving something back. Hell, I kind of want to give something back to those that have donated around the time. Sadly, I think one of the people who donated deleted their account, so yeah, that's fun. 3, there are some exclusive projects that I want to share to my friends specifically, and I'm sure that some of them can't subscribe to my Patreon because I'm pretty darn sure that, like, they probably need to save up for more possible important shit than my dinky ass projects. And number 4, for work in progress of, like, projects like the Mage of Silence, I'm pretty public about them anyways. If not, I'm only sending them to friend groups and, like, sending them at least in one Fanime Discord, as well as to the VAs. So yeah, those are the many factors of why I would not start a Patreon. And you know, when I kind of borrowed Elle's idea for exclusive projects, I either had to, like, workshop them to be either like an email, a forum with exclusive access to exclusive boards, or a Discord server for those that are not in friend groups, while having the friend groups get access to some of these exclusive projects. Now, with all that said, I am very indecisive of like what the fuck can I choose for something like this, so if you have an opinion of what idea you think is the best or have any other suggestions, I have a Google form for this type of thing. You can fill out like when the video ends. Now, I will say, like, there is still going to be public projects. Like, even outside of the Major Silence, I am going to still have some projects that are, like, public. It's just some of them will be a little bit more private than others. That's all. And with that, that is that. This is Chibi Jesse of YouTube signing out. Goodbye!